Hello everybody, my name is RetroBoy03, and welcome to my analysis video on the just revealed LEGO Star Wars Ultimate Collector Series YWing Starfighter. This set is set number 75181, and it comes with 1,967 pieces, 2 minifigures, and will retail for around $200 in the United States. As you can see, the box uses the black and very sleek design that we saw previously on the UCS Millennium Falcon, and I really hope LEGO continues with this box design for the UCS sets, because it just looks super nice and helps them to really stand out against other sets on the shelf. Here we can see the YWing itself in an action shot in the Death Star Trench being pursued by several Imperial TIE fighters. And just want to mention, there, at least here, I don't see any, highlighted ships, so no teasers for future UCS sets. I might be wrong, though. I just can't see anything. But anyway, here we have the back of the box, which shows the YWing on its stand, which the stand does accommodate the collector card, as well as both minifigures. And the set on the bottom, the box shows the set's play features, which include being able to spin the main gun turret, being able to put in landing gear, and being able to fit both Gold Leader and his astromech droid into the fighter. And what's kind of cool about this UCS set, as opposed to other UCS sets, is that this is actually in scale, pretty much. I mean, this is, I believe, around 10% too large, but in comparison, the Rogue One YWing was about 30% too small, so this is a lot closer to scale than that was, so that's pretty cool to see. And starting with our minifigures, here we have Gold Leader Dutch Vander, who uses the same DAC face that we've been seeing since 2014. Why does LEGO use this face on every single Rebel pilot they make? Seriously, why? Is it that hard to just print new faces? I don't even need... it doesn't even annoy me so much that it's used on this figure. It just kind of annoys me that LEGO uses this on every figure they made. Even if LEGO had only, 2 or 3 different pilot faces, I wouldn't mind then, because, it would be a bit annoying with these UCS sets when they just reuse the faces, but at least in normal sets, I wouldn't mind just seeing the same couple of pilot faces, just as long as we don't get multiple pilots with the same face. But, I mean, seeing how this is a UCS set, I would want a new print anyway, but we can't change that. But his helmet's nice, at least. I mean, I kind of prefer the 2012 version, but this is still nice, and, his torso, I believe, is the same one we've been seeing for the past couple of years, though I might be wrong. It looks a bit different. His leg printing is definitely new, I believe. I say definitely, but then I believe, because there's a chance it's the same one used on the Microfighter X-Wing set, but I'm nearly positive that this is a new print. Anyway, and unfortunately, he does not have the printed arms that we saw on the Rebel pilots in the UCS Snowspeeder, because laziness, I guess. The other figure we get here is actually more interesting. It's, I believe, R2BHD. I might be wrong about that, but I think that's what the astromech is called, and this is, of course, Gold Leader's astromech droid. I think it's kind of interesting that this is the first time LEGO's actually made this droid here, and I'm guessing it's Gold Leader's astromech, seeing as how this is a UCS set, but, I mean, it's weird, because in the 2012 YWing set, LEGO had a yellow R5 droid, so I'm not sure which is Gold Leader's astromech. Maybe this is, and that set just had a different astromech from a YWing, but obviously, before that, LEGO just used their red astromech droid design, but anyway, enough about previous astromechs. This guy looks pretty nice. As you can see, he is a fully silver droid. For some reason in this picture, his head and body appear to be different colors, but they are actually the same in other pictures. It's just the lighting making it seem a bit off. The printing on the torso is pretty standard. Print on the head is pretty standard, except look at that wonky bottom line. I mean, Yeah, I mean, pretty much every astromech droid LEGO makes has a bit of a wonky design on the head. It's extremely rare to get one that's actually printed perfectly, but geez, that line there is just so weird and wonky. But anyway, enough about the figures. Now let's move on to the part of this set we all actually care about, the Y-Wing itself, if it'll just focus. This picture isn't too interesting, it's just the same one that was on the back of the box, just without the background, but here we can get some nice details on the ship. Starting up near the cockpit, you can see that it uses the standard Y-Wing canopy piece we've been seeing since 1999, just now artificially lengthened with some extra trans smoke, I guess, pieces behind it. And I feel as though the shape of the cockpit is pretty nice, maybe relying a bit too much on those really large sloped pieces in the front, but I think overall it works. And obviously, like, the rest of the craft behind the cockpit is absolutely covered in tons of greebling, because that's just kind of the vehicle the Y-Wing is. I mean, like, really, aside from the cockpit and the fronts of the engine pods, it's pretty bare bones in terms of any sort of plating at all. So that leaves room for LEGO to put in a ton of greebling, and while I don't care to look at a picture of a Y-Wing for hours to determine if this is all accurate, I'm guessing it is because LEGO does have people paid to look at pictures of Y-Wings for hours to create this masterpiece. The greebling looks really nice. We have tons of pipes and rods running along, both in gray, just to represent, I guess, nicely done pieces, as well as brown, which represents sort of, I guess those could be rusty pieces? I'm not entirely sure, but you can also see, like, some cords running through. You have an ice skate piece used in there, a wheel, binocular pieces, gold ingots, battle droid pieces. There's just a lot of nice detail there. And then the engine pods use some flick missile pieces, and at the front they use those nice curved, I don't know what you call those, like corner 3x3 curved pieces? I don't know, but the engine pods are also nicely detailed, and you can see that nice castle wheel piece used in the back. That works pretty well. And you can see there the spot in the neck where you would just slide in your astromech droid. And again, you can see on the stand, you have the card, as well as both figures. And I'll zoom in here. If you want to read what's on the card, well, too bad, because it's really hard to see, because it's all blurry, and I have to zoom in a lot. But anyway, here you get a pretty simple picture. Oh, son of a goof. Okay, sorry, yeah, by the way, I record these analysis videos on my phone, if you haven't noticed, and sometimes stuff like that happens. My channel is of quite low quality, if you haven't noticed, but anyway, you have a picture of the cockpit opening, which unfortunately isn't accurate. In the movie, like, the prefab clear piece wouldn't open at all, and instead, like, the part behind that's built out of clear bricks, that would open off to the side. But I can see why LEGO just went with this. This is easier to do, of course, and inside you have some pretty nice designs. You have some control yokes, you have some stickered control panels, both on some tiles, and on that sort of, like, curved 2x2 slope-ish piece. I have no idea what you would call that piece. But anyway, I think that's the first time we've had a control panel on that piece, and that's nice. And also, probably my favorite thing about this whole set, which is kind of stupid, seeing how cool this thing is, but Dak, that's what this face does to me. It confuses me. Dutch here, he has a targeting computer. This is the first LEGO Star Wars set to have a targeting computer. Where was this on the UCS X-Wing? Hopefully we see a targeting computer in the upcoming new Rebel Alliance X-Wing, because if we don't, I'll be sorely disappointed, because this is such an important detail to have, even more in an X-Wing than in a Y-Wing, so it's cool they included it here. I just really hope they include it in the X-Wing, because if they don't, that set will be complete and utter garbage, and I will only buy that set if it has a targeting computer. I may have gotten a bit off track and a bit sarcastic there, but seriously, cool detail there. You can see that, unfortunately, just like the Snowspeeder, there are gonna be some stickers on the side of the cockpit. Yay! But yeah, and then you can see here we just have sort of a top view of the cockpit. You can see some of the printing on the top because the top of it is printed, even though the sides are stickers. And anyway, you can see the gun turret up on top of it better, as well as just some of the greebling on the front of the neck and where you put in your astromech droid. Yeah. Then here we just have a side view of one of the engine pods. Again, sorry about that. I have no idea why that just happened, but it did. Yeah, I mean, like, I guess that's what happens when you don't have the money to buy good recording equipment, so you're recording your analysis videos on your Android phone. Anyway, you can see some nice greebling here with lots of nice pieces. You have some hinges, some clips, some ingot pieces, some jumpers, and even some of those, I don't know what they're called, but, like, you know, you can see them, the pieces that you would insert the other piece into to have a thing that can hinge at up to 90 degrees, but, yeah, you can also see the engine pod with the landing gear folded down, as well as just sort of the back design on that with the actual engines in there. And here you just have another view of the neck with the astromech droid placed in. And you can just see, again, all of the awesome greebling. And while that's the last picture I have for the Y-Wing, there was another May the 4th thing revealed today, and that's the May the 4th promo. And just like last year, it's not a new minifig. It's a buildable figure, although I actually kind of like this one a bit more than the R2, even though this one isn't as accurate as the R2. I just think this is a bit more charming. We have this little mini buildable BB-8, and, well, I mean, sure, I would have preferred a new minifig, like, because seriously, like, we haven't gotten a new May the 4th minifig since 2015. That Stormtrooper doesn't count, Lego. Printing 2 pouches onto a Stormtrooper does not make a unique figure. But yeah, and while I would love to say that I really wish we'd gotten a great character, like, maybe, like, it's about time we get a Force Ghost. Or I mean, like, I don't know, there are just so many characters we could get now, especially with the sequel trilogy and the spin-off films, but, I mean, this buildable BB-8 is nice. I mean, we have the same dome piece as R2, which means that this isn't accurately scaled, but it's a nice print. For some reason, like R2's, the dome piece is printed not like how it should be, like the eye is printed at a 45-degree angle, so that's stupid. But anyway, you can see that he uses 4 of the same print for the dishes on the sides to let him roll. He just has extra pieces put on the sides, which if you wanted to make this guy roll, I would probably recommend not putting those on, because those will obviously make it harder for him to roll, because they'll be all bumpy. But I mean, like, it's still a cool build to have. Definitely a better build than the Toys R Us BB-8 figure. That was just horrendous. But yeah, so that's a pretty cool May the 4th build for a promotion. Let's just hope it's with a purchase of $50 and not $75, because I would hate having to spend $75 to get this figure, but especially since I'm not even spending $50 in May. The only money I'm spending in May is for the Back to the Future brickheads, and then I'm not spending any more money until the Harry Potter sets come out. That's how budgeting works, kids. The problem is actually, listening to what I just said to myself, and not spending all my money on Series 18 minifigures and Tomy Classic Supersonic. But enough about that. So that's really all I have for this analysis video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see all of you in my next video.